So let me first start by saying that I don't have all the answers. This is a topic that I don't regularly explore in regards to parental estrangement, and let's just go ahead and dive in. First of all, I want to say thank you so much, estranged parents. Um, this is a topic that is deep, I'll just put it that way, and requires vulnerability. And I thank you so much for being such a quiet soul with such a big message. And your stories, your TikToks, they do bless me. So I do want to say that. With that being said, the topic is, when you pass away, will you leave this earth believing that your children loved you? And then vice versa for them. Could they say the same? For me, I would say I would actually go into this ground believing that they did not. They did not. Maybe since they were about 10, 11, 12, I would teach them real things. One of those things was love. And at that time, what I taught them was love was a verb. It's a verb. And that means it's an action. That's affixed to it. You can't, it's a gift that you must give. And inside of love, there is compassion, there is forgiveness, there is patience, there is endurance, there is reconciliation. There's all these wonderful things right in love. When you go no contact, that's the opposite is demonstrated. Actually, today we live in a culture that is all about hate. Hate other people, hate people who don't believe like you, hate people who don't vote like you, hate people. It's all about hate. And unfortunately, we see that in parental issues. Now, because I know that we probably will have some people who come and say whatever they're going to say, let me just give one example. Like, I have one child who, he was known, well, first of all, our journey together was for 25 years. We lived together for 25 years. And he was known by his siblings as being the golden child, just to give you an example of the relationship. He was known as the golden child amongst his siblings. He was a self-professed mama's boy. We traveled together. I mean, we were very, very close. But he decided that he wanted to live an alternative lifestyle. And him knowing that I am a devout Christian, he made the decision for me to just kind of X me out. And it wasn't even like just no contact. I'm talking about, it was like he had to whitewash his whole entire past, which includes me, to create this new thing that he wanted to do in his life. I had no choice in that matter. I just had to deal with the pain. Now, as a mother, you love from your soul. You carry them in your womb, and it's still there. Their spirit, their heart, you still carry that. It was damaging to me and the family. And so, can I take that and say, and seeing, because it was more than just, it is a psychological destructively, psychologically. When someone that you love and that you've been with, you start seeing them remove your presence out of their life, it does something to you, and it's devastating. But this is what was done. And so now, if something was to happen, I would go into my grave believing, no, he didn't. I would believe that of my children, period. That is sad, but it's true. I hate it, but it is still true. So there's that. The flip side, if they pass away, could they leave this earth saying, Mom loved me? Technically, I believe so. I believe that my love for them was demonstrated and illustrated beyond the security that I provided. But number one, and I don't know why we minimize this until you have to walk it, which is, I was there when the other parent wasn't. I was the constant in your life. I believe a word to summarize me, maybe, for them would be passion. I had deep passion for my children. It was very evident. And yeah, that came with correction. That came with love. That came with gifts. That came with time. That came with, my face would light up when they come inside the room. That came with, I want to spend time with you. That came in a lot of different ways. And so I know right now it's all about blame shifting. It's not self-reflection, but it's about throw your problems and blame it on other people. And what I noticed about parental estrangement is that the children tend to create or rewrite the narrative to suit, what they want it to suit. And that's the sad part, because eventually they start believing it, even though it never happened. I've seen it. And so if they're looking through those lenses, then they're going to see whatever they have created. But if they look at my body of work as their mother, they should be able to see a big giant heart that was in love with them and much, much passion. Protective, absolutely. A mother hen, yeah, most times. But someone who enjoyed that, who was passionate about them. My prayer is that they will be able to see it. Now, I don't know what the future may bring. I don't. But I can't live my life thinking, well, maybe, hopefully, I had to stop doing that a while ago, because you will fall into a pit of despair. And so it's sad that that's the reality, but it just is. It's painful to think about it, which is why I don't talk about it. And to estranged mother, I think our estranged parents, to give her credit that she brought this up, because I don't hear many people talking about this. And it's a reality, because death is a reality. And it's all about what we leave behind, but don't try to recreate the narrative and say, oh, well, we really loved her. That was not your display. Your display was, we don't want you. We don't like you. We're deleting you. We don't even want to be a part of, we don't want to be associated with you. I was speaking to someone the other day, and listen, this may trigger or be uncomfortable for other people, but you have to deal with this, which is my only son that carries my name. I have two sons. The other one carries his father's name. But this one, my firstborn, I had him at 18. I was pregnant at 17. He decided to get married and change his last name. It was like that was the final step in erasing me. He doesn't think about it, but he has severed a legacy. And even though it has a different name, it's still there, because whatever has been deposited in him will be transferred in whatever capacity that may look like, right? But it is hard when I think about it, which is why I don't. But those were his decisions, and he was like 26 when he decided that. That's a grown man, And so, yeah. So thank you so much. Normally, I don't like to get vulnerable up here. And this is a discussion to be had. Because when we leave, it's all about what are you leaving behind. And there is nothing that you have invested more of yourself in than your children. And so, yeah, there is it's painful from the parent's perspective, especially being that this was not something that we had did. And so I don't know if there's any other parents that have thought of this. Drop it in the comments if you have. Estranged parents, I don't know your first name, but I so appreciate your videos, because yeah, this was not a topic I would have wanted even to explore, because I don't want to go into the thought. And I believe that you made this video because you do need to kind of look at this a little bit, not to the place of depression, but in a place of, self-reflection and then correction if there's something you can correct. And so I appreciate you, and I just want to let you know that. All right, you guys, God bless. Ugh.